My name is Monika Neuland, Kimrey. I am a social practice artist and a materials reuse expert. I work in the city of Chicago. I run currently 9 arts programs for adults with disabilities throughout the city. Basically, I feel that in addition to running arts programming and social service agencies, I work in social practice. And I believe that people are the final frontier of materials use in the art that I do. And I'm extremely compelled by any material that people think of as something they want to discard. So I basically am working consistently to run programs in bedrock poverty communities with individuals, most specifically who have disabilities but not exclusively, using recycled materials to build social capital. What makes my programs and my approach different from a lot of the other arts programs that are out there for people who have disabilities? I would say that I start out basically with arts programs that are embedded within social service agency sites, supported employment facilities. Everybody's seen that. It's a beautiful way to start. I teach weaving, spinning, ceramics, printmaking. I have a social circus component. We do puppetry. And within these embedded programs, we create experts and develop skills, and then the next step starts. And what I do is I approach other social service agencies who basically have no funding, don't have arts programming, and I identify artists with disabilities as cultural change agents that have something to offer, that are coming into cultural deserts, might I say on a high horse, with beautiful materials, with incredible skills, and I co-teach with them. And we work with people who are refugees. We work with people who are experiencing homelessness. We work with people who have HIV. And it may be putting the cart before the horse, but everyone's always asking me, how do you fund it? How do you fund it? How do you fund it? I believe that you have to create this feeling of luxury, of excitement, of yes, of yeah, you can have all these materials and we'll get you more. And so we provide these programs for free. That's our gateway drug into the arts for people who are experiencing bedrock poverty. So we come in and everything is customized. And I co-teach with other artists who are disabled, and we usually start out with a 2 or 3 hour workshop in the materials or media of the choice of the organization. And what we then have is this social currency, this lovely sense of indebtedness and excitement, like, wow, this was really great, what can we do next? And what I'm trying to do, rather than looking for that $1,500 and $5,000 to fund these little one-hit programs, is to build this network where now, how many people who are refugees are incredibly intelligent people with a college education from another country who don't speak English. Do I care if they're from Ghana? No. Can they weave? Yes. So now I can provide also job training necessarily for someone who's in a refugee situation. They're starting to get that point of entry contact. They're now invested in a community. And that creates this consortium where I think what needs to happen is that social service agencies, it was the way for so long to have a mission and a vision. And honestly, I believe the time for that is over. I think mission and vision, in a lot of ways, often cuts off your arms and your legs, and then it's like, well, I'd like to do that over there, but I can't. And I now am multitasking, not only to say, yeah, I'm serving people with disabilities, but by proxy, these people with disabilities can now provide this free program for people over here. Now we have a community consortium of people that know each other. They can help resource, find materials. They might be a great individual to work with us. They may have a skill. They know somebody. So I really feel like I want to, as I'm moving forward, create resources for communities at large where the leaders of the culture are people with disabilities. They are the skill people that have the skill. They are the rich people that have something to offer. And then build this resource center in communities that have bedrock poverty, where the building is open, maybe even 24 hours a day. How many times do we have the heat running in a building and someone's not using it? If you have people who are homeless, can they be using that space, in the nighttime for an arts program, whatnot? So I feel that it's an international model. I have worked internationally. I also do a lot of training, and I think there are two things that I hear consistently from people. People are always asking me, how do you find the money? That, I think, is a big thing that we need to talk about. Social currency and how you create excitement. I mean, everybody uses the word placemaking. I'll go there, right? Placemaking. But I think if you're really talking about social practice and you're tying it back into the fact that community is a material, you have to really work with good materials, right? So people always ask me, the money, and then I have people talk to me, how do you do it? I've had people almost intimate at times that, in a way, I'm the Pied Piper of Hamelin. It's like, well, I see people in your classes or in your programs, and they're doing things that they could never do before. And I think the other underlying thing is that there is a technique to everything, a technique that can be taught. It's not in any way mysterious, but it's not something that people really know where to look, how to approach it. So I really do a lot of mentorship with teachers, with community members on really, really nitty-gritty stuff. And a lot of that is how to establish a salubrious, convivial workspace, how to create situations that engender, that engender the desire for contact, that engender people working together, assisting one another, because everyone always, says, oh, that sounds like a lot of work. That sounds really hard. I couldn't do that. Oh, you're such a nice person. And the reality is I'm a very practical person. And I don't believe that there's any life other than this one. And I think that, boy, is that a motivation. If this is the one and only life that you're going to have, and you look to another individual, this is the one and only life they're going to have, there's, an incredible sense of responsibility that as human beings, ethically and as humanists, that we have, with stewardship of our lives.